Welcome back to the Dry Fire Journal, REDHAWK family. This is day 59. And today I'm pre-recording this because I'm still on the road hosting Caleb Causey for TACMed EDC. Today is Sunday when this goes live for the REDHAWK family, and then it goes to YouTube later for everybody else. I have my barrel blocked 365 XL, so now I know for certain and visually, and anyone around me knows that I have nothing in my chamber because it is blocked by my barrel block and my magazine is topped off. And so I know with these two products that I have an entirely safe firearm and my full magazine for my grip. You can get your own by going to blocksafety.com, B-L-O-K safety.com. Get 15% off with your order when you enter in the code REDHAWK. But what I want to show you today is just a sliver of something that I learned from Gabe White with Gabe White Training in his class, Pistol Shooting Solutions. I've gone to this class twice. I'm actually going again. I can't get enough of Gabe and his teaching style. And this is part of a drill that he runs called 3 Triggers. But today we're just going to focus on one aspect of it. And we're building off what we did yesterday with the pin and the sword, as we were clicking the pin and understanding that when our finger leaves the trigger, we wind up with more movement than we need in our hands. And that magnifies into more movement in the firearm than we want when we are trying to run multiple shots, particularly at speed. So what I'm going to do is I am going to rack the slide and activate my trigger, and I am going to press. I'm going to switch to left hand so you can see it. I'm going to press my trigger and then rack the slide, simulating what happens when I'm in live fire. And I'm going to elevate my front sight, simulating what I see in recoil. And then as my sight settles, I am releasing my trigger and as my sight falls into place where I want it to be, I press my trigger again, having already not lost contact with the trigger, and this minimizes movement. So if I switch back to my dominant hand and run this with 2 hands, which is how I want you to do it, I want you to press your trigger, run your slide, elevate your front sight, and as you see the sight falling into place, your finger doesn't lose contact with the trigger. We're not just stopping at reset because that slows us down needlessly, but we are letting the trigger all the way out, but not losing contact. And what that gives us is this. Way less motion. Let me show it to you with a good grip with leaving the trigger. If I run my trigger, rack my slide, elevate my sight, and then leave my trigger and try to press it again, it's going to look like this. There's a whole lot more lateral movement for me with my hands and this firearm. You may find something different for you. But as you run this, let me turn off my light. As you run this, you start with your finger touching the trigger, having not left it. You let your sight fall where it needs to be and press your trigger, and you will discover way less movement. I'm going to run my trigger, rack my slide, elevate, let my sight fall to where it needs to be, press my trigger. I'm letting the front sight rise, simulate recoil, releasing my trigger, and as my sight falls, begin my trigger press. Press it again, less movement. Try this on your own, and I want you to think about 3 things as always. What did I experience? What was I experimenting with? And what did I do well that I can build on? Give this some real thought. Put some work into this. Spend some time with yourself, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.